Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from McFarlane Toys in their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Mr. Freeze. Okay, so this is an action figure that I'm kind of conflicted with. When I first saw the promotional photos, I was kind of lukewarm to it. I've been wanting a Mr. Freeze figure from McFarlane for such a long time. And then when I saw the promotional images, I'm like, I'm not sure if this is the Mr. Freeze I wanted, but I don't want to sound ungrateful. I think it's still a nice looking action figure. On the side of the box, Mr. Freeze, aka Victor Freeze. Beautiful looking figure. And you can see he has his trading card in the back, display stand, and his freeze gun over there. So the one thing that kind of threw me off is that when you flip the box over, you get the comic book inspired image, and this costume, which I think is illustrated by artist Doug Mankey, I think, it doesn't necessarily reflect the figure. And I think that's, not that it's misleading, but I kind of wish they'd match, because there's so many different versions of Mr. Freeze depending on the artist. And there's so many Batman titles. I don't know which, Mr. Freeze this is specifically from. Like, I don't know if this is from, like, a story from Detective, or if it's from a recent Batman arc, or if this is something that's even, like, from the 90s. So it would have been nice if they kind of specified, which era or which, Mr. Freeze this is supposed to be. Because in all honesty, this is the Freeze I kind of want. It's a little bit more modern Freeze. But, I don't want to take anything away from this figure. It does look really nice. So let's get started. Alright, so don't forget, you have your trading card and display base. And we have Mr. Freeze. It's a nice looking figure, don't get me wrong. I think, if anything, it just might be the color scheme that kind of throws me off. I'm kind of more accustomed to Mr. Freeze being like in darker colors. And there's a part of me that kind of feels like I wouldn't be surprised if this figure saw like a re-release, it's like a repainted figure, under the gold label line. So I think it'd be awesome if they re-released this down the road and maybe added electronics to it, like a light up feature, much like they did with the hazmat suit Batman. Like, it'd be awesome if they added like an LED light underneath his head, so it would like illuminate his dome. That'd look incredible. All right, so let's get started. The one thing that kind of bothers me, I'm not sure. Oh, okay, thankfully that comes off. I was kind of worried that the dome wouldn't come off, but it's nice because you could then adjust the head. And it does look cool. I think it's just the color scheme that kind of throws me off. I would prefer him in much more darker colors, but as I'm handling him, I think it's a really nice figure. Here's his freeze ray gun. Let's take a look at that up close. It's nicely detailed. And I think does this come off? I don't know if this comes off or not. Yeah, I don't want to force it. For a second, I thought maybe the freeze effect could be removed, but I don't believe so. Let's take a look at the figure. So he retains Mr. Freeze's trademark dome above his head, and like I pointed out, you can remove it. And it'll only go on one way, because you'll notice there's a notch right there in the center. The facial sculpt is nice. I love the red lenses on his goggles. The color scheme for his flesh tone is beautiful. It's really captures that feel that, this is a guy that's, very cold. And in terms of the articulation, his head does rotate. Does he look down? Yeah, surprisingly, he looks down. Does he look up? Definitely looks up. His body armor is pretty neat. Like, even though I'm opposed to the color selection, I do think it's really well done. It's a little bit messy on some parts, but that just might be my figure. I love the hoses that connect to his backpack over here. You can see there's some denting to make it look a little bit more realistic. Nicely designed belt. He kind of has black body armor that's ribbed in certain sections. It's a pretty cool looking figure. It'd look nice next to the Page Puncher's Heatwave figure from the Flash line. You know, I think there's a nice dichotomy between the two characters, you know, with him being ice and Heatwave being like, you know, fire. But it's a nice looking figure. I'm really warming up to it. It's just the color scheme, you know. If it was up to me, I think I'd reverse the colors and make the white parts darker and then the lighter parts. Well, you get the point. But it's a nice looking figure overall. The articulation, it's all there. It's pretty standard. And I think it's cool that, you know, at this point, I think we have all of Batman's major villains from his rogue gallery. I mean, there's still other ones that, you know, like Professor Pig that maybe we'll get in due time, in like Zaz and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think like the heavy top tier iconic villains we've gotten, you know, we've gotten Catwoman, Clayface, Joker, some form of Penguin with the Arkham line, Mr. Freeze. We've gotten a couple of Banes. Mad Hatter would be awesome if we got that down the road. I'd love that. If you're a customizer, I think there's great potential for, you know, sourcing out this figure and using all the different body pieces, because some of the body armor is really cool. I like the boots a lot. You know, I'm sure if you're a customizer, you can use that for something. Same with the legs. So overall, it's a beautiful piece. It's nice. Like I said, I think the only issue I have with it is just the color scheme. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for the continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.